What's going on, guys? It's GBP baby. Welcome back to another video, another weekly review. We're gonna jump straight into things. Very interesting, very difficult week this week. I am gonna quickly check what kind of high impact news we have. But as you know, we're now starting the month of February, meaning that we can probably start to look for non-farm payroll and some other major news events. And as you can see right here, we have the seasonal tendencies up. Now, last time I spoke about these, a lot of people asked where to get it. If you join my Discord and go into the materials channel, you will be able to find all of those seasonal tendencies here. But yeah, this week we have non-farm payrolls, how exciting, jobless claims, and then PMI on Wednesday. Now, typically for weeks like these, and we have high impact news on Monday as well with PMI. But typically for weeks like these, we want to get all our trading done by Wednesday just because of the dangers of NFP, but that doesn't mean that we can't still get involved. So as you can see, if we just make this a little bit bigger, you'll see that February tends to be a bullish month on dollar. As in, you can see here, we open, close, open, close, open and close. And then did we have a bearish month on dollar in line with January? Technically, yes. And I'll show you what I mean. So this is January's opening price. This is our closing price. We pretty much closed at the open, which is interesting to me. And then you can see that February tends to be bullish. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to be running long. However, with that in mind, we can start to look at some more macro factors and some higher time frame PD rays that we may be actually drawing to. Now, one of these things I have, if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know that I've been so convinced that price needs to fill this fair value gap in. And this month, especially towards the last 2 weeks when price was dropping aggressively, I was getting under the assumption that we're going to be falling, but that is typical. It's very typical that would be us chasing price if I was to be like, oh, we're falling, so we should be short. So this is where the markets really get into your psychology and really gets into your mind and brains, and you have to really think about how you're looking at it, because we don't want to chase price. But when you're in these conditions and you're in these weeks and price is just falling and it feels like it's falling forever, especially when you're analyzing every day, it's very easy to get into that mindset of thinking that we're going to keep dropping. But looking at the high time frame, you'll know that I've been wanting to see us fill this fair value gap, and the fact that we missed it this month, I was looking at that and I've been looking at that like, are we really done up there? So considering that, and considering February tends to close higher, I would like to think that we can see an up close month. Now, if we take a look at the weekly as well in general, so let's take an actual look at price action here. You can see our price came right back down to this bullish order block pretty much perfectly. So here's the open off the bullish order block, and you can see our volume has respected that. And then if we look at the midpoint of this fair value gap, you can see our volume has respected that as well. So on a weekly level, this is a classic ICT setup in terms of price expands, we wait for it to come to the fair value gap, and then you want to be buying from there, because this is where the imbalance is, and this is where smart money is presumably would be accumulating. So let me just sort out my lines and such. This is probably going to be quite a long video, guys, so do get comfortable, get your snacks. But yeah, that's something to take consideration of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out that midpoint, and the reason for that is just that when we drop down to the lower time frames, we're aware that this is a weekly fair value gap that we're respecting, just to see where we're coming from. Because when it comes to price action and analyzing and using ICT concepts, we need to know where we're going from and where we're going to. Now, the reason I've marked this high is because, like I said, I've had my eyes set on it for a while, and I'm convinced that price needs to fill this imbalance. So to do that, it needs to get up to this high, and then we have a nice swing high above last week's high, and then this week's high as well. So yeah, I'd like to think that price can start to move up in the new week on the back of non-farm payroll as well. Now, there isn't really much more PD array wise on the weekly, so let's drop down to the daily and take a closer look. And you can see our price has expanded above this high, completely disrespecting this bearish order block. So we have a bearish order block here, these two up close candles, and price has traded through it. So what does that mean? It means we're not bearish, otherwise it would have respected it. So now I'm looking for significant swing highs and premium imbalances for price to trade to, such as this week's high right here. I like the look of that. And when we drop down to the lower time frames, we'll be able to take a closer look at that. And then obviously this high as well. In terms of fair value gaps, we don't have any. so there's no imbalances. However, when we drop down to the low time frames, we should be able to find some, and then that means as well that this should now act as a breaker. These two up close candles should be able to be used as a breaker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a box around these as well. I'm going to drag that through. Let's make this one orange, and I'm going to take out the midpoint, and I'm going to call this a daily breaker. And that means obviously on the lower time frames when price retraces, if we're expecting an up close week, and I'll show you in a second. If we're expecting an up close week, we want to see price create the low on Monday or Tuesday and then expand Wednesday through Friday. So moving into Monday and Tuesday, I'd want to see ideally down close days when we're trading into this breaker to accumulate stops to then trade higher towards our buy side target. So really this week I'm looking in the range of these highs and this breaker to hold price. I don't expect price to drop down below this at all. If we go down to the 4 hour, we can take a closer look, and you can see there's some bullish order blocks. We have a bullish order block right here, and we have a bullish order block right here. Now, and we have a bullish order block right here. That's very interesting. So you can see our price is stacking on itself. And again, this is that the range from this low to this high is the breaker. So anything within this range, we're looking for price to trade down into. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out the lowest bullish order block, significant bullish order block I see, which is this one within the range. I'm going to make this black, and I'm going to mark this out saying bullish, 4 hour bullish order block. And obviously we know that this range, is a daily breaker, so we expect price to be trading down to PD arrays within this range, and this is the one which I have my eyes set on, and this would again be the lowest I'd want to see price trade ideally. Don't get me wrong, we might find Monday rallies a little bit, but generally speaking, I'm expecting Tuesday or Wednesday to give us some downwards price action or some kind of retracement to create the low of the week, and I'll be happy for it to reach here. If we fail to reach all the way down here, let's say we only reach here, or we only reach here, that just shows that we're even more bullish than we anticipate, which is completely fine. It's just that we should be wary and aware and allow price to be able to dip down into these levels like here. So let's go to the 1 hour, and you'll see, last week's crazy delivery. Last week was horrifying, guys. Absolutely horrifying. Not the best of weeks, but nonetheless, we do have an imbalance between this low and this high. But again, this is that bullish order block, and look what it happens to line up with, another bullish order block. So I have got my eyes set on this range right here. It'd be nice to see if price can dip down into that, and then it's also a break on this time frame: low, high, lower low, last up close candle, expansion. So there's reason that can back our expectation for price to want to get down into that level. And then I'll be again after that I'll be looking for highs such as here, and I might as well have them marked out because these are targets that we can let off some of our positions, because if we're going to be going long whilst we're inside the breaker, we need to know where we want to be, letting out of our positions. Here, beautiful relative equal highs, look at that. And then here, to be honest guys, when you look at the charts like this and you can't actually see the candles and it's just lines like this, it helps you see the relative equal highs. Like look at this, 1, 2, 3. Now if we move this over, this is just smooth. Like there's no reason we shouldn't expect price to be wanting to go to these levels. So yeah, any kind of retracement below that Sunday opening price, I'll be looking for potential longs. And you can also see on the 5 minute, there's even a gap waiting down there for us, a complete liquidity void, meaning that no trading took place in this gap. So it'll be interesting to see if price does want to tap into that. So that's what I'm looking at moving into Monday. Hope that will make sense. Let's jump on to GBP USD, and GBP. Now GBP is looking mad weak, but if we go to the weekly, if we're expecting a up close week on dollar, that means we want to see a down close week. Am I talking about? Yeah, I want to see a down close week on pound. Now, honestly, I didn't want to see pound fall even more, but it's looking like it's going to have to. One thing that's very interesting is the way we have these relative equal lows below here, these lows here and here. So there is definitely south side liquidity residing below here. Don't get me wrong, price doesn't need to go there, but it is something to consider that price I want to start to draw to. So we'll use it as a target for now, although you know what it is, I think I have a bit of a personal attachment with pound in that I don't want to see it trade all the way down here. Furthermore, I remember when pound was back here, this is when I started my channel, 2023, and seeing it rise, and it's just kind of scary and sad seeing it fall. So I've got like this attachment that's like, no, don't fall. But yeah, nonetheless, there's a clear weekly fair value gap down there. Price could very well start making its way into that. So let's take a look at where we are, where we're coming from, and where we're going to. Like I said, we have these highs below here, relative equal lows. And then where are we coming from? Well, there's a bearish order block which we just traded into right here. Well, we didn't actually trade into it, but if we look at the wick of it, we traded into the wick of it, and also the wick of this one as well. Let's go down to the daily. You can see how we tapped into that. Again, there's the bearish order block on the daily. We traded into that more precisely. So it's interesting to see our volumes reflecting that. So now that we know where we're moving from, and I'm just gonna keep that drawn out. Let's make it this color. Again, we're expecting some kind of rally on the Monday or Tuesday to create the high off the week, and then we want to see displacements to the downside. So where could price rally to? Well, it shouldn't need to rally above here because we've already traded to this PDRA, but we do have a bearish order block here, and we have a bearish order block here. So let's get these bearish order blocks marked out. I do more so have my eyes set on this one, just because, you know, this one seems very close, and the fact that we traded through it here on the back of the wick is a little bit to me. So let's get this marked out as a daily 4-hour bearish order block. And then where are we trading to? Well, we can see some very clear swing lows that price is going to want to trade into here, and then we have some relative equal lows below here, and then obviously these lows as well. So we have some pretty you know, not obvious, but clear targets. And then also look at this. We're trading to we traded into this bearish order block as well. There's 50% level. We did tap above it a little bit, which isn't the ideal example, but you guys should get the point. I don't like this orange. Sorry guys, it's driving me insane. Let's keep it green. I never use the color green in the charts, you know. It's very interesting. Let's go to the 4-hour, and you can see just pure consolidation. This is not nice whatsoever. In fact, it's looking significantly bearish. So we do have a breaker here, a high, a low, a high, and then you can see we have displaced, but we're still in the consolidation. But we should probably take a look at this last down close candle, because it is a breaker. And we might find that when price is rallying, we might not even get to that 4-hour, that daily, 4-hour, daily, 4-hour. That's gonna be daily, mate. We might not even make it to that daily bearish order block. We might only be able to rally back into itself, which is this range right here. So that's something to consider, and I am going to keep that marked out. Let's make this orange, and I'm going to write 4-hour bearish order, 4-hour, 4-hour. What do you call it? Breaker. I'm so tired, guys. I was supposed to do a live stream today, but you know, life gets busy. So here's a 4-hour breaker. Price markets have just opened, and our sell side has just been hit. Yeah. Oh, imagine that. This always happens, you know. Like I'll be filming, and then I'll post, and then like a minute later the market's just, well, I don't want to be live trading. What the hell? I didn't think about this, to be honest. In terms of the rallying, it looks like it's less likely to happen now, especially because we've taken out the sell side here, so there's no need. But what I'm going to look at now is let's keep this daily inversion fair value gap, because listen, it wasn't here literally. This inversion fair value gap didn't exist 2 minutes ago, but it does now. So we can take that into our consideration. So any kind of rallying that we see now, we'd want to be looking around here, and also here. Why? This is where we bought on the buy side, right? So this is where accumulation appeared. We're expecting distribution to appear at the same place, so we can drag this out, and we can expect that if we rally into that, that should be very resistant to price. So I'm going to make this it's like an inversion, but an inversion order block, so to speak. But I don't want to be creating concepts. Let's go to the 1-hour. Yeah, obviously there's nothing for us to look at here. Price open down there. Anyway, my point is, I want to see rallying at the beginning of the week, and then I want to see expansion to the downside, and I'm expecting that pound to continue falling, running into this beautiful relative equal low, south side liquidity, so long as dollar does its little bit of whilst we're rallying on GBP, I expect dollar to drop significantly, maybe take out these lows, and then I want to see us reverse and trade higher. You get the idea. Let's go to the euro. Oh my days. This is crazy. This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. And you can see euro is heavily bearish. Where could we? So again, same thing. We want to see a down close week. We want to see some kind of rallying, although it doesn't look like it's going to give it us at this point. Where are we coming from? Where are we going to? Well, we have a fair value gap to fill over here. So let's use that as our target. And then where are we coming from? Well, we just traded into this massive bearish order block. Now, we didn't really respect much of it. You can see how deeply we traded into it right here. Not the best. And we've just taken out a weekly low. So this is going to be quite difficult for us, but nonetheless, this open of the bullish order block should still be relevant. So I'm going to keep that marked out, and I'm going to put weekly bullish order block just in case we find ourselves trading into it. And then let's drop down to the daily, see what we can find. And similarly, where we accumulated on the buy side, we want to see distribution on the sell side. So I am paying. What's interesting is we have an inversion fair value gap that's formed at that weekly bullish order block, but we also have this down close candle. And basically, I'm going to be watching this very closely, ideally to find resistance within it to help keep trampolining price lower, if that makes any sense. Here's consolidation. We've just taken out these lows on the back of opening. I don't expect there to be much rallying at all. But any kind of price action above that Sunday opening, above that Monday opening even, I'd be looking for potential shorts. I do think today's going to be quite a good trading day today, to be honest. Looking at how quick we're moving, we'll probably see, because look at how fast we're moving, right? If we get down here and it's only Tuesday or Wednesday, we're probably in for a massive reversal on the back of non-farm payroll or some kind of massive news event. But my point is, and we'll talk about that tomorrow, but it's not uncommon for us to see really, really big movements on Monday or Monday, and then Tuesday we'll like consolidate, and then Wednesday and Thursday we'll have like a huge reversal. So that might be a possibility, and obviously I can't say it's been 4 minutes into the new week. But yeah, turn on post notification, guys. You don't want to miss tomorrow's video. And that's pretty much it. Honestly, at this point, when price opens like this, I'm like, bro, let me just let it do its thing. So yeah, I do think tomorrow's gonna be a good trading day. I think it's gonna be very one-sided for a lot of it, and then I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna keep manipulating around Tuesday, Thursday, and then Friday it's gonna fling the thing, whatever that means. But let me know your thoughts. Make sure to drop a comment down below, smash subscribe, join the mailing list, drop a like, and join me on Discord as well. I am active. I'll see if I can get a live stream done this week as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.